What is discipline? How can we master it? And why do so many people struggle to stay disciplined? Fundamentally, discipline is about doing what must be done regardless of how you feel in that moment. It's about fulfilling your commitment to yourself and to others. I like to think of discipline as being firmly rooted in integrity. It's about doing the things you say you're going to do, regardless of what's happening in that moment, regardless of any other externalities. You're going to fulfill your commitments to yourself and to others. One of the other key components to discipline is this notion of delayed gratification. You may need to sacrifice in the short term to achieve your long-term objectives. So that might mean in the present that you're uncomfortable, that you're tired, that you have to push through uncertainty, but you do so knowing that you will help to achieve your long-term objectives. One of my favorite anecdotes about the power of delayed gratification is the famous Stanford Marshmallow Experiment. They took children and they placed those children in front of a marshmallow. They said, listen, if you wait, you'll get a reward. But if you don't, you get to eat the marshmallow right now. And what they actually found with that study is that the children who were able to wait and get that reward, their outcomes for the rest of their life turned out better. They did better professionally. They had lower BMIs. And I think it makes sense, right? If you can harness delayed gratification, if you can suffer in the present in order to ensure your long-term success, you are far more likely to achieve that success. And again, that's a key component of discipline. It's about having that long-term time horizon so you can focus on the future and not just the moment. In practical terms, you often see discipline exhibited through things like adhering to a diet, sticking to a workout plan, or simply being an upstanding professional and coworker. So when we're thinking about bodybuilding and self-improvement, the logical conclusion might be, oh, okay, so we need more discipline. That's why I keep failing, right? I'm not actually disciplined enough. Well, that would be wrong. You don't actually need more discipline because the most disciplined people do not rely upon discipline to get them through those hard moments. Let me explain. What you really need to do is structure your life so that discipline is no longer necessary and your actions become automatic. And one of the keys to this is habits. Discipline is tough because it requires effort and self-control. Habits actually are not difficult. Think about something like brushing your teeth. You've probably brushed your teeth 1 to 2 times a day, every day for the majority of your life. Is this something you have to actively think about? Is this something you have to make yourself do? No, this is something that you trained yourself to do a long time ago. But to the outside observer, you appear to be incredibly disciplined. You care about dental hygiene. But the truth is you've just hacked your body. You've hacked your routines such that this behavior has become automatic. And one of the ways you can do that is to directly shape your environment to reinforce and make those habits easier. So again, for example, let's say you're dieting, right? The easiest way to ensure compliance with your diet is to make sure you don't have unhealthy foods lying around your house. If your diet consists of only 10 foods, let's say it's a very restrictive diet, and those are the only 10 foods in your house, you are far more likely to adhere to that diet because your environment reinforces it. You don't have to decide every day what you're going to eat because there's only a couple options in front of you at one given time. Another way to strengthen habit reinforcement and shape your environment is to think about systems and plans. You don't want to just wake up one day and decide to work out. If you have a structured workout plan that you can follow, there's actually fewer decisions you have to make. You've already decided to commit to the plan. All you have to do is read it off the paper and follow it step by step. And you can apply that philosophy to almost anything. If you're trying to improve at work, if you're trying to improve within one of your personal relationships, come up with a plan. Give yourself some scaffolding and some support and allow yourself to follow those steps instead of having to make micro decisions along the way. Because again, every time you give yourself the opportunity to make a decision, you're going to need to exercise discipline and willpower, and you will exhaust your discipline. So limit those decisions and you'll find that your discipline is near infinite because you're no longer tapping into it. Another key component to this is this idea of leveraging momentum. So you've got these systems, you're minimizing decision fatigue, you're trying to structure your environment. You want to take things step by step. You don't want to tackle a project all at once. You can't lose 100 pounds in a day. But if you start to do small things and take small concrete actions, you will find that those actions will snowball and build momentum toward your final goal. So again, pick actions that are easily achievable, that don't feel like they're outside of your grasp, that are outside the boundaries of your decision-making powers. Because if you can commit to something small, then the next decision will also feel small and doable. And then lastly, I think probably the most important component of discipline in shaping yourself is to reimagine yourself. You need to recognize that you are a person that is capable of being disciplined, a person that is capable of fulfilling their commitments. Cast yourself as someone who does things, not just someone who says they're going to do things. If you can believe in that image and then produce evidence, right? Achieve things to support the results of that projection, you will become that person. You will change. And that is the most important key to enacting long-term self-transformation. Let's go over some practical applications. 1, a fitness routine with environmental shaping and habit stacking. So let's say you want to start going to the gym and you're not sure what to do. You're worried that you're going to lose your willpower, you're going to run out of discipline, and you're just not going to show up. Well, the best thing you can do is plan out in advance what days you're going to go to the gym. Let's say you're going to go Monday, Wednesday, Friday. You're going to go first thing in the morning before you go to work. The night before, set out your workout clothes. Have everything ready in advance. Know the route to the gym. Have everything planned so that when you wake up on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, you don't have any decisions left to make. You don't have any excuses left to give yourself because you've already planned out everything in advance. All you have to do is execute. There's no room or time for delay. Practical application 2. Healthy eating. I talked about this a little bit, but I really want to reinforce this. Let's say you're adhering to a specific diet regimen. You want to make sure that your house has only those items that you need to stay on that diet. Additionally, meal prep. Plan your meals in advance, prepare them in advance so that when you're hungry, you have healthy options at your disposal. Don't give yourself the opportunity to fail. Don't give yourself that moment in which you can be weak and hungry. Instead, have things prepared in advance, and again, all you have to do is execute. The key, I think the theme you'll see here, is that we're trying to avoid moments where you can make a decision. If you've already made the decision in advance, if you've already decided to commit to the diet and the exercise, there are no other opportunities for failure because you're just moving forward. Practical application 3. Let's take this outside the realm of fitness. Let's talk about a project. So maybe you're trying to learn an instrument and you want to get good at it. Set aside during your week blocks of time where you're going to be undistracted and completely focused on that task. Give yourself an opportunity to do that work. And again, decide that in advance. Don't just wake up randomly on a Tuesday and say, okay, maybe I'll play guitar. No, make sure you have a preset schedule and all you have to do is enact that schedule. And maybe even better, plan out in advance what you're going to practice. You don't just pick up your guitar and say, oh, I'm going to learn a song. No, already have that regime in place and all you have to do is follow the steps. Again, the key with all of this is to not rely upon discipline. Discipline is finite. Instead, shape your environment, shape your habits, use your world to make your decision-making easier and eliminate as much as possible opportunities to make decisions. And you'll find that you can accomplish anything.